All right. What is up, everybody? We are live. Do have a poll question up. Who fills one of the front row motorsports seats? Who do you think is going to be the leading candidate? Corey Heim, Ryan Priest, Riley Herbst, or Noah Gregson are the options. Only gives me four options. So that is why there are those four options. Noah Gregson right now at 78%, 22% for Riley Herbst. 9 votes in, plenty of time to get your vote in and see what you want to do with it. Want to catch up on a couple stories from the video earlier today. Obviously, after I made that video, some things changed. First off, Kyle Busch, that was addressed by NASCAR. It says, this via Racer Magazine, by the way, NASCAR clarified why Kyle Busch kept P4 for the second overtime attempt at Nashville. We determined he avoided being in the wreck that he caused that caused the caution, hence retaining his scoring loop position, said Cup Series managing director Brad Moran. So there you go. He wasn't part of the wreck, and the only reason he was stopped on the track was to avoid making contact with another driver. I knew they would say something like that. Now you can go back and look at it. NASCAR has probably been very inconsistent on this from time to time in the past, but I knew that would be the official reasoning as to why NASCAR did it. Your reasoning can be whatever it wants to be, but there you go. There is the official reasoning from NASCAR. Also, we have an update on the Carson Hocevar situation. He was fined by NASCAR money and points. So we'll read this. This from B on Twitter, moderator B on Twitter. This coming from her. Carson Hocevar has been fined. Oh, you put it down there in the comments too. So it's in the comments too. So you can read the comments as well. Carson Hocevar has been fined $50,000 and assessed with the loss of 25 driver points for violating the NASCAR member code of conduct at Nashville Superspeedway. Hocevar retaliated against the 21 of Harrison Burton under caution. Got to agree with the call. He knows better. So there you go. Harrison Burton also at fault too because he did pinch him into the wall. But if you watch any sport, it's always the person that retaliates that gets the penalty. And in this case, Carson Hocevar was retaliating and stupidly enough did it under caution. So there you go. Loses 25 points. And I would say this is probably a similar penalty to Lane Riggs because Lane Riggs lost 2 laps and that cost him a bunch of it cost him a finishing position. So it cost him some money. And it also cost him a finishing position. So it cost him points. So I would say similar fine. So he didn't get the immediate 2 laps that Lane Riggs got at the same racetrack. But I would say when the penalties even out, probably about the same amount monetary and points wise. So I guess a fair penalty. But once again, NASCAR was inconsistent. I would expect just make it a 2 lap penalty when somebody wrecks somebody on purpose. That seems to be something that would be a more consistent deal. The other stories today, nothing really happened with the Deegan thing that we've seen. We still don't know if she's being fully replaced or if this is going to be a one-off and she'll be back in the car after that. Nobody's come out and said for certain yet that I've seen, but definitely not a great day to be a Haley Deegan fan. She'll be missing the race at Chicago Street Course for Joe Logano will be filling in the number 15. They're assessing the performance of the car. That's the official word on the street. Whether they're actually assessing the performance of the car or whether or not they're just outright saying you gone, that remains to be seen. But it'll be interesting to follow up on. And of course, Hooters. That's why I'm wearing the Hooters hat today. Hooters is no longer with Team Hendrick. They've just hit a rough spot business wise, and they can't fulfill their contractual obligations to Hendrick. So they'll be off the car for Richmond. They made the previous other 2 appearances where Bristol and wherever else was the other one. So yeah, that's their deal is over. Their deal was going to end at the end of the year anyway, but now their deal is going to end earlier than it would have ended. Just because they had a rough patch, they closed down 44 stores, I think. Check my math on that, but I think it was 44 stores that they had to close down. So they, like everybody else, struggling in this economy. We're not going to talk about politics. There's plenty of YouTube channels that talk about that. Cole Custer going to Cup. That is the big rumor out there that's probably going to happen. And the other big rumor out there, Josh Berry going to the Wood Brothers, and he's not going to take Rodney Childers with him. That is the one that has caught probably the most attention. Now, these are all just rumors. Nothing is official yet. But Bob Pockress basically tweeted out and said he doesn't think that Rodney Childers is going with Josh Berry to the Wood Brothers. So that takes a little bit of steam out of a lot of people's sails because they were expecting, because all along, all throughout the silly season, which is drivers being moved around. I had somebody in the comment section say, stop calling every season can't be silly season. I was like, dude, silly season is just what NASCAR has always called, usually off season, but now it happens in the middle of the season. Driver movement from one place to the other. Dude thought he had something, thought he was cooking. He was not cooking. I just didn't know what he was talking about. Anyway, So them not getting Josh Berry going to the Wood brothers, not getting Rodney Childers, that seems to be a big blow. But we'll see. We'll see. We've seen Ryan Blaney over there win in that car. So we know when the car is prepared properly, you can get wins. Trevor Bayne also got a win over there. Matt DiBenedetto got him into the playoffs. When that car is properly prepared, it can be a fast car. So you don't necessarily need Rodney Childers, but I think a lot of people, because there's been just so much talk in the offseason between those two that they were trying to make it a package deal and stay together. But it looks like, according to Bob Pockress, that's not going to happen. And the other rumor, as far as that goes, we just mentioned Cole Custer, is that Rodney Childers is going to be Cole Custer's crew chief for that Haas CNC team. So maybe that's how they're keeping the number 4 team all together. Unfortunately, they'll be losing Barry. But fortunately, if you're a Cole Custer fans, you're getting Rodney Childers. If all these rumors pan out to be true, once again, want to reiterate, these are rumors. Let's see. Have I caught up everything? Busch, Deegan, Barry, Hocevar, Hooters, Custer. Okay, I think I've caught up everything. So let's jump into the comments and see what you guys want to talk about. For those just joining us, we do have a poll question up. Who fills the first Front Row Motorsports seat over there when they finally announce who's going to Front Row Motorsports? Because it looks like these other seats are being filled up. Noah Gregson right now running away with it at 82%. I've asked a terrible poll question. 18% saying Riley Herbst, Priest 0%, Heim 0%. So there you go. There is your numbers there. Get your vote in if you want to get your vote in. Got a super chat there from Quattro. Has Larson been banned for eternity yet? Appreciate the super chat there, Quattro. Quattro's been on one, man. He's a huge Ross Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain fan. He is still he's still grieving the potential top 5, top 3 potential win if everything had played out right. If you're a Chastain fan, so he's still grieving that, and you can understand where he's coming from. Yeah, not Kyle Larson's best race, but every driver has races like that. And the obvious low-hanging fruit that somebody is going to clap back with is Ross has done it to other people. Blah, blah, blah. They all do it to each other. It's a hypocritical sport. It is what it is. I can't think. Maybe Mark Martin. We've seen Martin Truex run into some people now too, so we can't even say not him anymore. But maybe Mark Martin. Maybe Mark Martin is the sole last one out there that didn't do it. Soldier saying, "I'm just here because Xbox Live is down." Tragic stuff. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully they get Xbox Live back up and running, because this is subpar content. Occasional moments of quality, but few and far in between. So hopefully, fellow Xbox man though, I was huge into Xbox when the original Forza came out. I was an Xbox man all the way up until Bungie separated and they went with Destiny instead of doing Halo. When the Halo Destiny split happened, I went Xbox. I went away from Xbox and went to the PS4 with Destiny. But other than that, I got out of gaming pretty much after Destiny. After Destiny ran its course. Be reiterating, Hocevar fined $50K, lost 25 points, and he was no different than William Byron did at Atlanta last year. OJ and Toothpaste saying, BB, were you jumping up and down and dancing happy when they had the 5th overtime attempt? I'm telling you what, man, Earth 2 almost came completely through the portal and crashed into Earth 1. If Zane Smith had won that race, we finally would have had the argument we needed to get rid of the playoffs. Because not only would he statistically, of all the drivers that have run races, last in points, he would have won Rookie of the Year being last in points, and he would have been in the playoffs being last in points. We almost had the perfect scenario to make the ultimate argument as to why the playoffs are ridiculous. So yes, I was actually pulling for that 5th overtime, believe it or not. BB, your thoughts on Deegan racing at Chicago this weekend? Says OJ, it's a huge blow for Deegan. Like you have got to, if you're a Deegan fan, you've got to be upset. If you're anybody else, you got to look at it and be like, the results aren't there. They're putting Joey Logano in the car to see if the car is that bad or if Deegan is that far off. Was she rushed up? And I think that's 100% what this is all about. That being said, if Joey Logano gets in that car and that car runs poorly, there are so many people that are just anti-Deegan for whatever reasons at this point, be it performance, be it, whatever, that I don't think she's still not going to get the benefit of the doubt. That being said, I don't think Joey Logano is going to get in that car and run poorly, or at least as poorly as that car has run all season. But that being said, even Brett Moffitt barely, I can't remember if he got it into the playoffs or if he was the last car out of the playoffs, but even Brett Moffitt, a guy who I think is a really good driver, an absolute veteran, he barely got that car into the playoffs. So I think it's a fair thing for AM Racing to do. And I like the fact that their sponsor for this race is actually getting behind him. Like, hey, we support AM Racing. We want to see if the cars are off this much performance wise, or if it's the drivers this season. So yeah, I like what they're doing from that perspective, but it doesn't make it any better for you as a Deegan fan. And there's the other aspect of it. Is this just their way of starting to get Haley Deegan out of that 15 car going forward? I don't know. There's a lot more questions than there are answers right now. So just a lot going on with that particular conversation. Unfortunately, I don't have any answers for you. You'd have to ask them. But as it stands right now, all we know is Joey Logano is going to be in that car and Haley Deegan is not. And the official word from AM Racing is that they're just assessing the performance of the car so that they can get better going forward. So we'll have to see where it goes from there. T-Van, what's up, my man? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Mark Barnum? Hope you're doing good as well, my friend. Sliced Bread bought that seat in Chicago is my take. So there you go. Mark Barnum saying he brought more money to the table than maybe Haley Deegan did. So that's there's another there you go, another fractal to throw out there as far as what might have happened. Red Lobster and Hooters are going to go bankrupt, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, Cracker Barrel's restructuring too, so add them to the list. There's some more out there. McDonald's is struggling from a lot of backlash for various reasons. I've seen a lot of stuff. There's a lot of food places in trouble right now. Too many to mention, too many to name, but hopefully all the ones that sponsor Cup cars are not affected. Hopefully Wendy's and McDonald's stay in it because those are the only two. Applebee's and is it Chili's? Who's on? I think it's Chili's with Corey LaJoy. So hopefully all those restaurants stay in so that we can keep those sponsorships in the sport. What's up, everybody? What's up, Camaro 50? Howdy from the Great White North. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? What's up, B? Would they not take Childers because of him thinking outside of the box of the rules, says one wise guy. That is one aspect of it for sure. Like I've said, and I know a lot of people not necessarily everybody agrees with me. Roger Penske doesn't like cheating. So that might be that might have been a factor that was considered in the Rodney Childers, if it's true, not going to the 21 with Josh Berry. We'll know tomorrow at Wednesday. I think they said at 11 a.m. they're going to make the official announcement. I think is, if I remember correctly from the article I was reading, Penske has too much ego to hire Childers. He would leave the earth sooner than normal if the 21 outran his 3 cars. Says Bumblebee. That could be something. Quattro saying I'm still extremely salty. Hey man, I understand. Look, your dude was at least in line for a second or third place finish. Just like I feel like Kyle Busch fans are equally as salty. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of fan bases not happy with Larson's last 3 restarts there before he ran out of gas and recovered to finish 8th. That's probably what irritates them even. Like if you're a fan of the other 2 guys, like that has to irritate you even more. Kyle Larson caused several of those wrecks. He definitely took out his running out of fuel is what took out for sure Kyle Busch, and he took out Ross Chastain, and then he finishes 8th. That's got to be like salt in the wound for sure. There's no doubt about it. So I understand where you're coming from 100%. Back to the restaurant. Do you think this is good press? Quitting, walking out versus putting in a 2-week notice, says Sir Wood Rooster. I don't know. Like I said, it was overnight that they shuttered the restaurants. I do know that for sure. So I don't know. If you're a waitress, though, it should be pretty easy to find a job. I would imagine those waiting jobs they're typically is a lot of turnover, so there should be an opportunity there. Historically, there should be an opportunity there. T-Van laughing his butt off at Quattro. I'm glad Hooters broke the curse with the win at Texas before the endorsement check started bouncing, says Camaro 50. Yeah, they at least got the win in, so there is that. Of all the organizations, I wonder if they've already put that diecast out for sale too. Is the Richmond diecast already out for pre-order? If it gets pre-ordered, will that be a car that never ran but was actually schemed up? That'll be a neat thing to check out. I haven't looked. I didn't even think about it till right now. All of the organizations and race teams, where do you think Rodney Childers would fit best, says Timber Race? Haas factory team, like that would be probably the best fit for him because he's just going to go in there and continue doing what he's doing. I have a good feeling that they're going to just link up and be sort of like what the Wood brothers are to Penske. The Haas factory team is probably going to be to Front Row Motorsports. That's what I'm guessing. So they're probably all going to be working out of the same building. That'll probably be the most comfortable thing for everybody involved. So I'm imagining that's probably what happens over there. And if he's Cole Custer's crew chief, that's going to be a huge deal too. Like you'll finally get to see Cole Custer with a good crew chief and a good car. So it'll take away all of the is Cole Custer a good driver in the Cup Series? We know he's a good driver in the Xfinity Series, won the championship, and I think is leading the points right now. Check me on that. I don't really keep up with Xfinity because I'm usually working on the weekends, at least on Saturdays. Let's see. Chase Elliott should get Bojangles as a sponsor. That yellow and red would look good on the 9. Or you could do the old black, red, and white, black, red, and yellow. That who was that? Who was that? Who was that? Derek Cope. Derek Cope ran the number 98 or 99. I think it was 98. Derek Cope ran in the 90s or maybe early 2000s. Bumblebee saying, "What's up to Swan Dog?" Late 90s, early 2000s. So will Deegan get a waiver for the playoffs? Says OJ and Toothpaste. That's a good question. Hopefully, that's what we need to talk about. That's the real question nobody's answered. I'm glad you're on top of it, OJ and Toothpaste. Since Haley Deegan has been taken out of a ride, will she get a waiver for the Xfinity Series playoffs? That's a fair question to ask. Like, she could still win a race. You never know. Good question there, OJ and Toothpaste. Deegan isn't making the playoffs, says Bumblebee. We're talking Earth 2 here, Bumblebee. She's leading the points. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know how we do here. That's Earth 2. She's leading the points. And Zane Smith is leading the points on Earth 2 in the Cup Series. Brett Moffitt finished what's up, Swan Dog? Good to see you on here, my dude. Brett Moffitt finished 4th last year at Chicago. I want to see if Deegan shows up to the track or stays home, says Bruce Carvey. So there you go. They did run good at Chicago last year. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with Xfinity because I don't always get to watch it, but I did remember Brett Moffitt drove it last year, and he had some success there. So we'll see what happens going forward. Either way, just not a good deal for Haley Deegan. It shows that to me, it just shows they don't have confidence in the driver. But that's the way I'm taking it. But I could be wrong about that. Wendy's got Shane this weekend, says Quattro. So yeah, there you go. That's the I do have the let's see, where did I put it at? Starting lineup for not the starting lineup, but the entry list. So Shane Van Gisbergen will be in the colleague Saucy Nuggets. It's going to be the Saucy Nugs Wendy's car. So I can't wait to see that scheme. Haven't seen it yet, so I'm waiting to see that one. But he's going to be in the 16 this week. Kaz Grala in the 15. Of course, the man that finished, I think, 2nd or 3rd last year, Justin Haley's going to be in the 51. We've seen some speed from the Rick Ware racing cars. Do we have any other surprise guest visitors? Josh Balicki going to be in the 66. Joey Hand in the number 60 for RFK. Any more surprise entrants? Austin Hill making a road or a street course race here in the United Rentals with Keith Rodden as crew chief, number 33 Chevrolet. So there's another one. Daniel Hemrick will be in the 31 like he always is. Let's see. Harrison Burton in the 21 as he always is, but will he be in there next year? Apparently not. Apparently it's going to be Josh Berry. Yeah, that looks like the only ones right there. So yeah, should be a good event. SVG going to see if he can let's see, defend the race title or whatever. Also, Daniel rocking the Fold of Honors car is awesome. That helped me financially through college because of my dad's service. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad that's there. I know my buddy used to always buy. There was he had a Toyota, but it was the step side or whatever. There was a Folds of Honor edition step side that you could buy, and he always bought that when he was getting his step side or his accessories put on his truck to help that cause. So I think that's a good cause too. So I'm glad they helped somebody that's watching the channel. And Quattro just graduated, so wish him luck in his future endeavors. Looking for a good job out there. We're hoping he can get one. I know he can because he's a good dude. Barry plus 21 equals 100, says Camaro 50. I like that math, and I think that math is right. I think Josh Berry is a good candidate to get the Wood Brothers that 100th win. Chad Fincham and Rodney Childers next season for the 66 car. I'm hearing from Bob, says OJ and Toothpaste. Earth 2, that's a stone cold lead pipe lock, my friend. That is definitely some Earth 2 knowledge we're dropping here today. If the money is there, do you think Riley Herbst would go to Rick Ware Racing? That's a good question. I feel like Rick Ware Racing is on the up. So like Riley Herbst, that wouldn't be a bad spot for him because he's going to get a lot of that negative stuff that Austin Dillon gets, that Austin Cindric gets, that Cole Custer gets with, he's a daddy's money driver. He's going to get that. Haley Deegan definitely gets that. He's going to get that. So if you go to Rick Ware Racing, you won't get as much of that pressure because there's, aside from Justin Haley, I don't think there's ever been anybody that's like, I want to go to Rick Ware Racing. But now that Justin Haley's there, maybe there are some drivers that want to go to Rick Ware Racing. So actually, I do think that would be a good spot for Riley Herbst, especially if he can get the same level of commitment that Justin Haley is getting there. Elliott needs to go get a Wing House or a Twin Peaks sponsorship. Tilted Kilt, throw them out there, whichever ones you want to go to. On a side note, I take my CDL test tomorrow. Wish me luck. All right, say Kyle, switching careers here, so we wish him the best. Thoughts and prayers and whatever you need, man. You got all the positive thoughts coming from us. We know you're going to crush it. you're going to do a great job. You're not going to crush it literally. You're not going to run into anything. You're going to do well on that test. Put that thought of crushing anything out of your mind. Why did I say that? I'm a horrible person. Absolutely. Larson finishing position is what I was yelling about. My wife, I didn't know I was upset with an 8th place finish. LOL, says Swan Dog. Yeah, like that's just got to be salt in the wound of the Kyle Busch and the Ross Chastain fans. So I totally understand it. Like I said on the video, that's going to be one of the races Kyle Larson looks back on and is like, yeah, that wasn't my best performance. Is there a chance Childers would move? And I want to say this to be fair. Every driver has races like that. Is there a chance Childers would move to RCR in your opinion, BB? I think if the situation is right, I think Rodney Childers is open to doing whatever. It would just have to be the right situation. I could see him maybe moving over there with a Noah Gragson. He's familiar with Noah Gragson. Maybe Ryan Preece. Maybe he's familiar with Ryan Preece. Maybe he likes. Maybe he's familiar with Ryan Preece's game. He likes what he sees behind the scenes. Obviously, the results for Preece have never been there. Yeah, I think anything's possible. I'm just sitting back and watching the silly season unfold. I'm out of the prediction game. It's been such a wild season. The moment Stewart-Haas Racing said that they were closing the shop, closing the doors, I was like, man, I'm out. I never thought that would happen. So after that, I'm just like, we're just going to sit back and watch what happens. I have no opinion. I just throw the theories out there as long as the theories are credible as to what will happen. T-Van, what's up, T-Van? Says, I say, Kyle, good luck. T-Van saying, T-Van saying good luck to say Kyle tomorrow. NASCAR is announcing tomorrow Bowman Gray is being used for the Clash. Your thoughts about the time frame, mid-February, 1,500 seats. Sounds like a real good one. Bowman Gray is a crazy racetrack, man. It's got a lot of hype behind it, so it's TV famous. I'm close enough to it that it's got it gets talked about more than any other racetrack. It could be huge. It could be the best thing that's ever happened. Could be the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm gonna let them try it. I'm not gonna sit here and rain on the parade. I'm let them try it. Hopefully it's good. If it's not good, though, it's probably gonna be a one time. So if you want to go there, hopefully you can get one of those 1,500 tickets. I'm sure they'll put some extra seating, but it won't be much more extra seating. I think max capacity that you could probably get around there would be 3,000 or 4,000 in a pinch. So it's going to be probably a really expensive ticket. It's probably going to be sort of like North Wilkesboro tickets, where the first time they were in the All-Star race there, probably going to be a ton of money for a ticket. Thank you, EB, says, say Kyle. What up, everyone? What's up, Chrome Diesel? Good to see you on here. Camaro saying good luck to say Kyle. Jana saying good luck to say Kyle. Almost messed your name up. Apologize. I'm just going to call you Puppy Love because I'm going to mess that first name up a lot. Did you also know that Hardee's is coming back? That would be awesome, dude. Dude, if Hardee's comes back, that's going to be the bomb. Huge Cale Yarborough fan back in the day. And I didn't even really know his name. I just made my parents take me to Hardee's as a real little kid because they always had race car stuff with the Happy Meals or whatever. I remember I got a helmet one time that I wore and broke. Like I probably would have got less hurt if I wasn't wearing the helmet when I crashed I think I was riding a 3-wheeler or a big wheel. I don't know. Anyways, they had a really cool race merch back in the day when you got a Happy Meal and stuff like that. They did it for a long time. That's just the one I remember the most. They had a little Roadrunner diecast set that everybody in the South had. So that's a cool deal. Everyone hit that like button, says T-Van, but I hadn't seen that yet, so I'm going to have to look that one up. I was not aware of that one. T-Van, appreciate you there. Saying everyone hit that like button. E2, Earth 2, Haley Deegan is doing so good in Xfinity that Joey Logano is struggling and needs the extra seat time. That's a fact. That's a fact. She's on Earth 2. She's rumored to be going to one of those open seats that are open on Earth 2. You got to have Saucy Nugs in Chicago, says William Wagaman. There you go. The Saucy Nugs are pretty popular. I haven't had them yet, so that's one that I haven't tried yet. I would love to see Hardy's back. Go Joey, go, and Blaney too, says Miguel. So there you go. Yeah, a lot of Joey Logano fans rejoicing because this is an even year, and now that he is in the playoffs, you know what happens for Joey Logano fans on even years. So the Joey Logano hype train is fully back on the rails and rolling. My question about the Deegan thing is why a road course instead of oval? That's a great question, Swan Dog. I would love to know that. Maybe to